take a pic with Cardi B inside my cardigan. Niggas know I love, they call me Shorty, Mr. Tardy Man. I just smoke my weed and fuck these hoes, I'm not no party man. Hit the plug and take the gas, you take off in a Harley man.
So yeah, Demon Slayer 1. Since I'm covering 3 characters in one video, I'm not going to show where you can get everything. I'm going to show the overview for the build, and then I'm going to tell you why I picked the items. So let's begin with Tanjiro. Tanjiro's build is going to be very similar to Rengoku's. The big difference is going to be the talismans and the fact that you have a second weapon that you're going to swap between. And that weapon is the Sword of Night and Flame. When you sprint attack with the Sword of Night and Flame, it does this cool fire ring. Kind of reminds me of when Tanjiro turned that spider kid into Kite. Moving on to the talisman. Pretty much every character is going to have the Shard of Alexander and the Rotten Winged Sword insignia. The 2 talismans that make Tanjiro unique are the Feathered Branch Sword talismans. When below 20% of your health, they both give you buffs. The red one increases your attack power, and the blue one increases your defense. I picked these talismans because Tanjiro has a tendency to clutch up when he's close to death, unlike some other people. Your main weapon is going to be an Uji. Big shocker there. You're going to have the Ashes of War Flame Strike with the Flame Affinity on the blade, and that's going to be your... That's it for Tonjiro. Now moving on, we have Inosuke. Inosuke is the most fun to play out of these 3, given that he is an agile, dual-wielding pigman, rather than focusing on skills like the rest of the characters in this video. With Inosuke, you just kind of get in there and start swinging. And that's why he has more defense-focused talismans, like... the Dragon Crest Great Shield. This talisman alone increases your physical negation by 20%. Pairing that with the Pearl Drake talisman, which increases non-physical damage negation, you pretty much cover all your bases. There are offensive talismans as well, like the sword insignia the other characters have, and the Lord of Blood talisman. This character is not really centered around bleed, but his weapon does do bleed, so if you wanted the extra damage, you can use that. Moving on to the weapons, Inosuke uses 2 scavenger curved swords. They aren't katanas, however, they do have the serrated look that we're going for. On your main weapon, you'll want to put the Ashes of War Barbaric Roar. What it does is it increases your attack power and changes your heavy chain combos. Also, the skill is procced from being really loud. There is one incantation if you'd like to use it. It's called Bestial Sling. There is a ton of bestial incantations you could use, but I'm gonna just leave that up to preference. But I like this one especially because I could see Inosuke picking up something off the ground and chucking it at someone. And lastly, we have Zunitsu. Zunitsu is very straightforward, only needing a couple of items. He's another character whose main weapon is going to be the Uji Katana, because there's only 2.5 katanas in the game. For his Ashes of War, you actually have 2 options. You could use Bloodhound stat because his Thunderclap makes him stupid fast.
I'm fast as fuck, boy!
Or you can use Unsheath to mimic the stance that he does. You can make the Ashes of War lightning affinity, but I wouldn't recommend doing that, because we're going to be using Electrify Armament, and they don't stack. The other incantation we're going to use is Dragon Bolt Blessing. It increases all resistances by 30, so it'll help you fight against Bleed, Madness, and Frostbite builds. Moving on to the talisman, there's only one unique talisman that you need on Zenitsu, and it's the Lightning Scorpion. It increases your lightning damage by 12% and then 8% in PvP. And it stacks with an item for your flask called the Lightning Shrouded Fractier, and that increases your lightning damage by 20% and 15% in PvP. So that's a 32% increase in your lightning damage, or 23% in PvP. But yeah, that's all the builds. Thank you for sticking around to the end, and these are all the people that stayed around last time. Put the word Bill somewhere in your comments to let me know you sticked around this time, and I'll feature your comment in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe. That's all I gotta say. Bye.